Hey, welcome back to Cincy Fish Dudes. My name is Paul. A couple weeks ago on this channel, we used our FLASHFORGE and we printed some molds. We did some soft plastic molds. This week, we're gonna do some crankbaits, right? We're gonna print this crankbait. This is two halves of one crankbait. I'm gonna show you where I download it. I'm gonna show you how I prepare it, how I paint it, clear coat it, how I add weight to it so it's correctly ballasted in the water. I'm gonna show you some underwater tests to show you how it performs, all that. So if you're interested, we're gonna turn these halves into these crankbaits. So stick around and I'll show you how to do all this on this episode of In the future, I'm going to design my own fishing lures and make them, but for these first couple videos, as I'm learning this printer, I'm going to create other people's fishing lures, and I'm going to start with this crankbait. It has a lot of downloads and likes, so I know it's going to work. It's got two halves, which is good because that'll let me add weights and rattles and all that. He has a description. 0.25 nozzle, 0.10 layer height. I like all the info he gives here. No rafts, no supports, 90% infill. I'm going to be painting this myself and I'm going to put clear coat on it. So we should go ahead and download this crankbait and get started on our print. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open that file in Flash Print. What was cool is he also offered a stencil that you can use to paint this crankbait, but I'm going to use my own painting stuff, so I won't download that part. I'm just going to download the crankbait itself, and let's get a look at it. All right, I love the chamber for rattles and weights and whatnot. Oh, also nice slots for putting hooks in. That's perfect. No wonder this has so many downloads. So what I want to do is I'm going to use a clear filament because that will allow the bills to be clear. And then I will airbrush the rest. I should have eyes to fit these slots. Let's slice. All right, let's go with my default that I like. And take a look at our preview here. So what we are looking at is a 23-minute. Wow, 23 minutes, that's awesome. It's only 11 grams of filament. I like it. All right, let's take a look at the layers, how it's going to print. It's going to start from the bottom and slowly go up. All right, that'll work. All right, let's go ahead and print one. Okay, we have two halves. We have the chamber to put in weights, and we have a chamber to put in our line and hook holders. Okay, so now it's time to do our wiring harness, the one that goes through here that holds the line, goes through here, it holds a hook, and goes all the way back here and holds a hook. I'm going to do this with a little trick that I know. Let's put a nail here, put a nail here, put a nail here, and put a nail here. Boom, boom, boom. Went ahead and glued the wiring harness in place. The chambers did not leave a lot of room for air. It's really hard to squeeze all that wire in there, but I did my best. It doesn't leave a lot of room to put weights. I would like some chambers here so you can drop some weight in here. I won't be dripping hot lead in here because it'll definitely warp the crankbait, but I'll try to drill little holes into each of these chambers to get a little lead in the belly, so it will be ballasted a little better. I'm not really sure this weight's going to make all that much of a difference. Just a little bit in the belly. I don't know. Maybe I should try dripping. Okay, I did decide to go ahead and drop weight in the belly, but I just want to test it on a sample one instead, just to see if it's going to melt my PLA. That seemed to have worked pretty well. Hot lead and plastic. And I'm going to drop some right here in the center to hold that wire in place. There we go. Melt it right through, guys. Okay. I ruined my good wiring one. This one went perfect, but then that one melted right through. Dang it. That's why I printed 2 of those. Okay, plan B. Okay, we got some weight. And it's starting to look like guts. I like it. Okay, we'll put a couple bearings in there for shakers. We got our weight, we got our harness. And glue these halves together. I decided to print one slightly larger, and what happens when those cavities are being filled in if I pause it? And then enter some weight right now, and then see if it'll print over the weights. Let me go ahead and add a couple weight bearings. This could be catastrophic, but we'll find out. Let's unpause. I can't believe that worked. I can't believe that worked. Just pause it, insert your weight, unpause. It worked with the lead inside, nice. This one, without even having a rattle in it, the lead beads that I dropped in there while it was printing rattle itself. So the weight is the rattle, and I love this. Listen to how loud this thing is. Okay, so the larger cavities definitely allowed much more room to put the wiring harness in. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert our bead and go ahead and glue these together. I like this cavity, how it sinks down like that. So when the swim bait gets pulled and it goes, that bead gets locked in that spot, which is just more weight up front, which I like. Okay, we'll put a little accelerator in there and hold it into place. Okay, I'm going to try to seal it up with some polyacrylic. Body seal. Okay, I'm going to put on some masking fluid so that when I airbrush, it won't get on this clear bill. Every time I do a new lure, I try to do something new or different. See if I like it better, just to change things up.
Okay, it's time to airbrush. Paul uses Creatix paint, but one of our favorite subscribers, Steve Brockway, recommends Vallejo paints. Looks like he's going for some natural colors there. Maybe some greens, some blacks. Some stripes. Ooh, that's real pretty. Oh, you got like little stencils. That's fun. That's my favorite color. That's gonna be something really cute, I know it. Oh my goodness, I love that little stencil art.
I'll link that stencil in the description below if you guys are interested.
It's adorable. Look at that. I feel like you could use it for nail art.
I'll use it for nail art the next time I'm doing that.
I know, I bet Sophie would like that too. Oh, look at their little eyes. Nice touch. Hey, you guys, if you're liking what you're seeing right now, you should subscribe. He does all this fun stuff and all this creative stuff. Give him a follow. You won't regret it. Hey, comment down below for recommendations on what you guys think that Paul should make next. True Coat is the best clear coat.
That's right. It gives it that glassy look. It looks professional when you put True Coat on it. Of all the different clear coats I've used, I like True Coat the best.
I can tell why. That's so pretty. Look at your little setup.
Whenever you're mixing the two parts of clear coat to a 1-to-1 ratio, make sure you do it precisely or you will not get the results you're looking for. Be very careful when using a heat gun with 3D prints. It often warps the filament. So I'm going to let these baits spin overnight. This is just so the clear coat doesn't bunch up on one side of the lure. It's hard to tell in the camera, but this clear, transparent filament just gives it the most natural, realistic looking that I haven't even seen from any of my lures yet. You can see the lead inside and it just makes it look like the fish's organs. I really like that sparkle on there. Just this very, very realistic looking filament once you paint it. Went ahead and designed a crankbait display stand as well. Check out how it looks with all the other lures I've made. Most of these are carvings.
Okay, let's see how it performs in the water now. That'll be fun.
All right, it's floating at the top, so next time I'm going to put a little bit more lead in it. I want it to get down a little in the water column. All right, let's try our second one. Here's the smaller of the crankbaits, also floating in the top. Not good action on that small one. That needs to be adjusted. Be a nice topwater lure, but this is supposed to be a deep diving crankbait. It's going to need more lead. The larger one's pretty ideal, except for I want it to be a deep diver. So on the big one, I took off the ring here in the front and I just tied it directly to the loop. And I use this to do some adjustments, and I'm getting straighter action now on it. Yeah, that swims really well. And I think if I just put a little bit more lead in this, this would be a really good crankbait. This is by far the best sounding crankbait I've ever made. So what did we learn? If I do this again, I'm going to make it a little larger, and I'm going to make cavities to put a lot more lead in, because I want this type of lure to be in the middle of the water column, like almost suspending, and that bill will help it get down a little deeper. But other than that, I am happy with the results. I mean, I printed that thing in, what, 25 minutes? So, thanks for sticking around this long, guys. If you have stuck around this long, write the word crankbait in the description below and I believe you. Check us out on all the social medias. We'll be back soon enough. I'm not quite sure what project I'm going to get into next.